What exactly happened in the chapter 2 ending? Is it just a simple story of Fox Repay? Is the Yellow Wind Sage a hero or bad guy? And what about Lingji? Hey guys, compared to chapter 1, the ending animation in chapter 2 is more abstract. The key to understanding this story lies in the timeline. On the surface, it seems like a simple tale. A man saves a fox, dreams of the fox repaying him, then dreams of the fox killing his whole family, so he kills the fox first. But how does this connect to the story and characters in chapter 2 of blackmyth Wukong? The core of chapter 2 story is about repayment. It all starts in the flowing sands kingdom. The king received a drum from Buddha to protect the country, and as a repayment, he built numerous temples. But soon, the king became fearful of losing power and started to banishment of monks. Constantly, that's when the monstrous insect Fuban attacked this country, and also the Buddha's drum lost its power. So a logical conclusion is that the king stopped repaying, and the Buddha sent down disasters as his punishment. From Lingji's portrait, we can see that the head behind Fuban resembles Lingji's head. Plus, the portrait of Fuban says, "One side a saint, the other a fiend. Those who bring disaster upon others will have disaster upon themselves." So it's pretty clear that Lingji was the one responsible for delivering the disaster for Buddha, and Fuban was sent by him as the disaster itself. Next, we know Yellow Wind Sage passed through the kingdom, defeated Fuban, and saved the country, receiving the king's repayment, which is in chapter 2 secret level. Then he left to become Lingji's disciple. The happy ending is what we see in Fuban's portrait, but when we look at Lingji's part, the king reveals more details than that. The Yellow Wind Sage said, "Flowing sands people turning into rats is actually because of his behavior." So he left. Did Yellow Wind Sage do that? Of course not. If he want people turns into rats, he wouldn't leave. So who did this? The real story seems to be, even after Fuban's death, the disaster didn't end. Lingji thinking, if you like being protected by rats so much, then you might as well all become rats. And he cursed this kingdom. Realizing this, the Yellow Wind Sage tried to stop the disaster, but had to leave and become Lingji's disciple. Now, connecting this to the man saving the fox, the story should be Yellow Wind Sage messed up Buddha's plan and should have been killed, but Lingji, in a moment of mercy, decided to take him as disciple instead and ended up decapitated. This corresponds to a confused "I saw kindness repaid with hate" line in Lingji's portrait. So what does the man's dream about the fox repaying him and then killing his family represent? Looking at Lingji's portrait comments, it's implied that Lingji taking the Yellow Wind Sage as a disciple was originally a good act, but also gave Lingji new desires. The man dreaming of repayment represents how he expected gratitude, just as Lingji hoped to control the Yellow Wind Sage and use him for his own goals, such as make him become one calamity for Wukong in the story of Journey to the West. But the man's fear of being harmed by the fox let him kill it when he woke up. This suggests that Lingji feared the Yellow Wind Sage may hold a grudge against him for turning the flowing sands people into rats and forcing him to be a disciple. The resulting battle led to Lingji's defeat and being decapitated. Lingji believed that his kindness led to death, while the Yellow Wind Sage felt he deserved to be killed for cursing the flowing sands. But in this story, the concept of repayment becomes so twisted and blurred that it's impossible to say who truly owes whom. This ties back to the comment in Lingji's portrait. Whether the Yellow Wind Sage was good or evil is hard to judge, as the truth has been covered in the sands. So that's the story before players' arrival. Understanding this context gives new meaning to Lingji's final words to Sun Wukong in the animation. He warns Wukong that a Yaoguai should stick to being a Yaoguai, and to not try to be a hero protecting a kingdom, using the flowing sands fate as a threat. There is an ironic twist here. Thus, Lingji himself is just a big bird who become human form and only become a Bodhisattva after submitting to Buddha. But after all, he's just like other Yaoguais as a creature.